endings. So glad that you could join us for the night. I am Bran, your GM, and when I'm not here, I am nonstop making candles. November is for no sleep.
Hello, everyone. Greetings. Good evening. And that is I, Celtic Scribe, also known as Tholdrum, your wizardly dwarf for the campaign. And when I am not here in my study, I am off playing video games or writing, as it were.
Hello, Haro Chaotic here, playing Kiwi. And when I'm not here, currently I am being a Viking or collecting really silly yokai weapons in Final Fantasy XIV.
Hi, I'm Bree. I play Freda, the Halfling Cleric. When I'm not here, I'm grappling with the reality of, I don't know, existing. I don't know. I play on this channel a lot, and that's pretty much all I do right now.
And I have to now bring everyone back up. I will uplift you all.
Not my job.
So I'm Thomas. I currently play Helena, the human sorcerer, and I'm currently working on stuff. I'm working on a parody D&D thing that I'm interested in getting off the ground, so I'll have some fun with that.
Ooh.
Dark greetings, everyone. I am Velvet, Fae Fair, chaotic gay by nature and professional trash fire by trade. When I'm not here playing the Siren Bard Ursula, I am elsewhere, also being trash that is on fire.
I have to ask what the professional angle of Trash Fire. How do I reach that level of
It
professionalism?
takes a lot of work, man.
It's
takes a lot of work.
yeah.
Let's get a union card and everything.
You
it's
start
true.
as like a mess, then you're a hot mess, then you're a trash fire, and like eventually, if you do well enough, you can be like a landfill fire.
It's almost like a Pokemon evolution.
Wait, so
It
so
really
but
is.
isn't dumpster fire in the middle there somewhere?
Depends what
I was
hemisphere
a
you live
gifted
in.
child. I skipped a grade.
You were just that good, it just promoted you way too quickly.
Yeah.
I was just that trashy and on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Magical. All right. Last time, the Enders challenged Goretooth, the orc barbarian war chef, to combat, which he obliged them. Understanding the critical situation that they were in, the Enders insisted on finally using the seeds that they had obtained. Ursula and Heliana had taken the seeds into them and altered their forms into bizarre, strange ways, and proceeded to battle the barbarian. As a team, the Enders united and bested their foe. Following their reclamation of his seed, they were suddenly struck with a message that stated this may not have been the best course of action for them. And we are going to start there. Heliana, you have a brightly colored parrot resting on your arm, and you were just given a very simple scrawled message on a scroll that simply said, "You did bad," in very elegant penmanship, with a rather crude frowny face next to it. Followed by, in small text, the bard will be there shortly.
Well, everyone, I hope you're prepared because it would appear we have company arriving.
Do we just stand out here in the cold, or can we wait in the hut?
Should
Go to
wait
the hut.
where the food is.
Just to screw with them.
The hut has no owner, currently.
I say we wait in the hut. No purpose in waiting out here in the cold. If we're gonna get an earful from whoever this is, then I'd rather be warm.
As you're discussing your course of actions, a sudden loud crack of thunder just echoes in your ears like, it was only a foot away. You're deafened by the sound. You are now cast in shadow, and as you look up, there appears to be a ship hovering just above your heads. Familiar, you recognize it, and you recognize the face leaning over the deck, staring down at you lot.
I'll wave up to Tandem the Knife.
Tandem the Knife, sure enough, leaps over the deck and onto the ground near you. He kind of does a glance at the situation, and looks and sees the blood spread across the snow and the body of Gortooth laying there. He sort of walks forward and pushes past and looks down at his friend and glances at you lot. Does anyone want to help bury him?
Sure.
Yes, I suppose we should.
Good on you.
Yeah, shovel.
Does anyone have a shovel?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, do I see like a tool shed anywhere?
Not directly
quick-
near you.
Okay.
You think
Quick,
you have
Bran.
like some big ass spatulas we could use?
Are my zombies still around?
One of them is completely frozen solid
Yeah.
near you.
I forgot
the
what
other
I'm-
one is still there, just sort of hobbling around, kind of waiting for orders.
Can you command?
Yeah, I just sort of
Yeah.
look at it and just like, I need to be clear. I will be killing this once this is done. Just dig a hole.
The zombie, sort of bobbing, looks your direction, and then turns and just starts, scraping its fingers into the snow.
Oh, this is going to take a while.
Is the frozen ground gonna be a problem? Would he want like a pyre? Is that like a chef thing?
I'll make this a little quicker, and Thuldrum just kind of curls up a fireball in his hand and starts melting the snow in the formation where we should dig a hole.
Tandem's observing the two of you.
I'll help Thuldrum by like using my rapier as an ice pick for any particularly troublesome spots of ice.
A grappling hook. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be helpful.
I actually have any useful tools.
He watches this for a bit and he goes, stop, kind of waves his hand. You see him hold his hands together and start a soft incantation, and you hear a soft melody coming from him. There's a sudden flash of light near you. This tall, proud, angelic creature standing there, just elegant and beautiful. She raises a sword and starts just cutting huge gouges into the snow and the ice near you, sort of prying up the earth below. And as that's happening, he reaches to his side and holds a very simple loot. It's not the elegance you saw when he had the seed. This is something that looks very worn, very simple. As he's watching this angelic figure, he's gently just sort of humming a dirge as it happens.
I think after a minute of watching him do that, I think Feta would still bleeding, but she would kneel down, I guess, next to where they're digging, and just kind of respectfully try to communicate with her deity, just say, help his soul get to where it needs to safely, I guess.
I'll
Protect his
harmonize
passage.
with Tandem.
Okay. This goes on for a few moments until there's a deep enough hole into the cold earth, and he leans down over Goretooth and plants a soft kiss on his giant forehead before working to roll him into this pit. This diva figure begins sliding sort of across the ground, filling up the top with this ice and uneven earth, and sort of pats it down as clean as possible. This grave is made. And Tandem holds his place, looking over it for a moment, and then very casually he unbuttons his trousers and begins to urinate on the spots.
Okay.
Oh,
I was wondering where this was going.
I know, I was like, wait a minute, what?
Well, that explains. Well, Gortooth did say he and Tandem didn't have a good relationship.
true.
I was just gonna go with it.
He does afterwards he does a almost respectful salute towards the ground and wipes his hands on
At least
himself.
wash them. There's snow everywhere.
I have soap. Aren't you disgusting?
Tholdrum's just kind of
That's
gonna. Tholdrum's just gonna kind of clear his throat a little louder than usual, but just
So, wow. Did not think you had that in you. Did not see it going this way. I will tell you right now. What'd he do? What happened? What made you snap? Did you
We were just minding our own business, and then he started some shit.
You didn't see it. That orc came right at us.
did you try and he holds a little seed motion in his hand.
I don't think
He's glancing.
I'm gonna say no, but wink when I say no.
I mean, Helena turns away from him as he asks.
Oh, well, all right. So
How did you know?
how did I know you used the seed?
Yes.
You're alive and I'm talking to you.
Well, better yet, how did you know we were here?
Yeah,
Did
now
Right,
you know what
yeah.
happened.
Did you bug us?
Oh, please. You really don't think I have anything better to do than to follow you lot around?
Well,
Well,
you're
you're
here.
Well, I'm
Yes.
Here. I'm here because I'm doing a friend a favor.
So are you saying that you weren't the one that sent the note?
No, I'm retiring. I did not really plan to see your faces ever again, to be quite honest with you.
So then who are you here for?
Oh, well, you're gonna meet him soon enough. You are gonna love him. You're gonna not at all be terrified by him. So, I know my offer was denied last time, but he motions, juts a thumb back towards the airship. Who wants a ride?
Before we say
Oh.
anything else, I think we should probably take him up this time. Just a thought.
Yeah, I'm done walking.
We don't
What
exactly
if
have
land people and walking.
we don't exactly have a teleporting wizard with us.
Fine, just no singing.
I don't think you can command him not to.
Oh, I will certainly try.
Is there
I almost
food?
put you to sleep. I have this spell sleep. I want to make clear that I was not like an offer to like kill you.
It
Oh,
only
that-
sounded that way.
Yeah, I know. As soon as it came out, I was like, wait a minute. I'm exhausted, so if we can get a break, I guess.
Oh, you simply have not traveled till you traveled by airship, let me tell you. You are going to love this.
But is there food?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't usually stock it with a bunch of stuff. I'm usually just off of it and somewhere else. I stop at nice places. I don't usually just hang out on the ship.
Where's
Kiwi,
the
don't.
bird go?
Oh
It's
my
going to
gosh.
be a bachelor type of freezer.
Kiwi, don't we have enough food in our bags?
Also, we can go raid the
Why
tent.
would you ask her that?
Okay, fair enough.
For real, where'd the bird go?
Don't eat the magic bird.
not
It might
eating
do
a
something
bird.
weird.
The bird is still currently
Didn't even know. Just
just on the shoulder now. It's just that have you ever had that uncomfortable feel where a parrot's on your shoulder? You're like, it's gonna bite my ear. Like that's
just the slow sort of tilt towards it. Just
it is there. There's this weird meeting of the eye from the bird.
Tholdrum kind of cranks his neck upward, looking up at the ship, and he kind of eyes it a little bit and strokes his beard. He's like, "So, how are we expected to board that ship?"
He motions to a simple rope ladder, which is how he ascended from.
oh, that's
Easy enough.
He kind of starts walking towards the rope ladder. Well, here's hoping your rope ladder can hold a dwarf. And just starts going
That rope
towards
ladder is really anticlimactic.
It is-
yes. It's kind of disappointing with all the teleporting and stuff.
I'm sorry, I left my teleportation orb on the ship. You can go hop on there and be impressed with it once you climb up there. As he's sort of waving you off, there's a streak across the sky overhead, over the airship, over all of you. There's just this flash of white just comes down across the huts and the buildings there. And it's just a cone of ice just shattering into the ground in this area.
Feda, who had been starting towards the hut, stops, turns around, and goes, right, okay. And then goes to the rope ladder. She's gonna get some of the food out of the hut. Doesn't really matter.
Just before Helena
the
gets
dragon
on.
just seems to just be doing dive bombings and just hitting this place with blast after blast of ice.
Right.
Right, I think that's our cue to leave.
You can hear the cry of some of the students currently being froze over and trapped in the buildings.
Yes, let's be on our way.
Just
Tandem-
before.
Tandem
Just before
does a
Helena.
glance back at you. Heroes, you want
just
What?
one
I
moment.
was never here.
One moment. Helena will just walk over to her last remaining zombie and just says a few things. Hope you find peace in your life, and we'll just cast heal on it, but using the 3 actions version to basically just shoot a range of bursts of energy.
to? It just disintegrates under your spell. It's just a
Yeah.
bright blast from within,
Was-
leaving nothing.
Was Feda close enough to be hit
No
by
way.
that?
Well, it's 30 feet, so if you're within 30 feet.
I'm just saying. Feda could use it.
Yeah, no, so.
Kiwi is gonna like whisper into the dragon scale on her arm, like,
Okay, listen, I know that some of them stole the babies, but if they didn't, you should let them go. Maybe
Oh,
don't kill
before.
the innocents. eyes are here. Don't want to attract any attention.
You get no response, at least as far as the scale on your arm. But after the third or fifth dive bombing of ice, you can't really hear anyone screaming anymore. So
It's probably
They must be napping.
the situation took care of itself.
Thildrum's kind of like already halfway up the ladder.
Oh god, Helena's gonna be like so slow at climbing a ladder. You've all seen that hunchback. She can't. Can't climb straight. Oh boy. But she'll do her
Everybody.
best scuttle.
Everybody's making their way on board.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. And does their last climb, and with seemingly no one at the wheel, the ship itself seems to lift on its own and starts gently making its way.
So where is it that we are going?
The Tandem is observing everything as if he had much control on the ship currently. He looks over to you. Oh, you don't want the surprise of it all?
I mean, I would at least know a direction.
Heading. You call it a heading while you're sailing.
Yes, a heading. Sorry. Thank you, Helena.
Yeah, crosses arms and tries to look like a proud captain. We're sailing west. We're leaving this island.
Come again?
Why?
What? We're leaving the island entirely.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that will make it quite difficult to get back.
Oh,
But-
I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're not going that far. Just
I-
walk off the island.
I mean, sure. Not that far by flying ship, I'm sure.
Look, all I was told was, Tandem, it's time to pay the debt that you owe me. Go find these kids. They're lost in the snow. Bring them here. Great trouble.
So, yet again, we are thrust upon with one of your debts.
No, I am thrust upon one of my debts. I am here. I am here taking care of you.
He kind of holds up a finger and he's like, very well.
And debt's a strong and
Sure.
debt's a very strong word, mind you. This is a favor for a friend.
You literally use the word debt.
Yeah, he
But
side
really, all
eyes.
favors are debts, though.
He side eyes Kiwi on that one. It's different when it's a friend. Go look for food.
Okay.
I just love it. I love it when Kiwi has those moments, like a smart alecky moment, and no one expects it.
So this friend of yours, is he or they currently in possession of one of these seeds?
He nods, sort of leaning over, just kind of watching the sea pass. As far as I know, he still has it.
And he is the
You
owner
are-
of this bird?
You are gonna like him,
Is
or you're gonna fear him or hate him. I don't know.
is this
You're gonna
person-
react.
is this person a pirate?
No, nothing so normal as a pirate.
Oh well, being normal is vastly overrated.
I don't know. The pirates, they seem generally pretty happy.
He kind of turns to Theta, and he's like, "I'm sorry. I thought I was going to get a legit opportunity to show you what a real pirate is, but I guess you'll have to wait a little bit longer."
I'm not in a hurry. It's okay.
He sort of leans himself into the conversation. You're really not missing much.
Oh yes, no, pirates are a real pain. Trust me.
Have some cool
They're-
stuff though. Usually,
They are, but they're very wishy-washy. Things are either fantastic and great and celebratory, or we're stranded and who are we going to eat first? You know, pirates, they're extremes, and it's a lot.
Thuldrum kind of looks over the edge of the ship as we're passing over the ocean, and looks over at again with the names. Okay, Kiwi, Helena, Theta, and Ursula. Thank you. Okay, all right, and looks over at Ursula. You know, this the ocean has me thinking, Ursula. We haven't really had a moment to talk about where in the ocean you're actually from.
have to make up geography with the world now.
I mean, you don't have to be super specific, but just like,
Go for it. You do
Yeah.
that world building.
yeah.
I come from a little cove up in the north.
Oh, so are we typically very far from it, or are we moving farther away or getting closer?
It's probably like north. I think we're getting away from it.
As am I. I believe I come from, you know, mountains of the south, so I'm as far away from home as I've ever been.
At least you're still on land.
Is a flying ship in the air considered land?
Everything above sea level is land to me.
I mean, fair, but we're in the sky. I feel, I feel like, I feel like being a dwarf. I very much do not have my footing for sea or sky.
That
In
is
fact-
fair. What's it like? Like with the rocks and stuff?
Kind of like vertigo. I think I'm gonna move away from the edge now.
Tandem is currently poking around in different cargo crates on the ship, sort of like he doesn't know what's in them. Kind of opens one up and little green one. He yells over to Kiwi.
Yes.
These look like onions. Kind of closes it back down and
Woo!
kind of
Kiwi runs over and like
waves his hand.
throws the crate up and just dives in.
Yeah, they look like onions. Kind of.
Do they taste like onions?
There's that familiar bite of onion. Your eyes instantly just draining when you sink your teeth into it. It's
I just continue to eat them.
it's flavored filled.
It's an onion soup without the soup.
Tandem approaches the group, or the cluster of the group there. So, what's your plan currently? Still on the righteous path, are you?
I mean, I wouldn't say righteous. I shook hands with one of the forest folk, so I think this is probably a Gaius at this point.
Oh, there are always ways around these sort of deals.
Right, but they promised me a statue, so hard to walk away from that one.
Yes, I remember my first statue.
And how about you, Tandem? How have you been since you became, well, mortal again?
Well, as mortal as an elf can be, I suppose. The prospect of dying a bit easier has certainly come to mind. But, not a whole lot's changed. Really gonna miss some of the things I knew, or some of the things I could do. But it was all getting rather tiresome after all. Now I can now have viable reason not to go on Mad Cat adventures. I can just do whatever I want and not be expected to be the hero.
Ah, yes, and that reminds me, you probably should go see your compatriot at the wizarding school at some point. I
How is
believe
old Arch?
he's well. He just no longer has the seed in his possession, so he might not have very many more years left.
Yes, I suppose it has been a bit too long. When time is meaningless, you just keep procrastinating.
Yes, it's the curse of man, as I would like to say.
I wish that were true for all people with immortality. Anyway, so you know where the bedroom is? I think some of us need to sleep.
Yes. He suddenly looks a bit uncomfortable, a little taken back, like he didn't really consider anyone would be looking further into the ship. He goes, yeah, yes, all right. Be respectful, he says, the most pleading look you've seen on his face.
Helena suddenly just has a look around and is like, just sort of leans over to him and is like, is the ship alive?
I mean, kind of, sort of, just, be respectful, please.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right, not our house. Be respectful. Got it.
thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and follow Helena.
Just Helena suddenly just starts patting everything very gently. She was like, good girl. And she
He takes you to a set of stairs further up the ship, and it leads down under the deck.
Ooh.
For a moment, you freeze because it feels like you've just walked outside into the forest. There's a natural light in here that you would bet everything was the sun. You can hear the sound of birds. You can hear these small snaps of creatures walking through the foliage, walking through the forest. I'm going to see Fada. This is a welcomed surprise for you, probably more than the others. He takes you down a series of steps and motions his hand. There's not really much for beds, but it's comfortable enough, I would imagine. Please make yourselves comfortable. He at this point definitely seems not in his element having you in here. There's this kind of more of a quiver in his voice. There's not that same strong bravado in it, as he's just kind of now carefully looking at all of your faces, just kind of trying
I
to...
think Tholdrum's gonna go.
Wrapping up.
Tholdrum's gonna go on one of those tree stumps, and just kind of prop his staff along his legs as he's like crisscross, and just like meditate on his spells.
Huey's still in the crate up on the deck.
Yeah, no, I stayed up on deck too. I'm looking at the
Oh.
ocean because I can see my house from here.
All right.
Actually, my house right here. Yeah, Helena would just find a quiet corner, I guess, like one of the corners, and just gets the old bedroll out and tries to just nap.
Fade is gonna try and find the biggest spot of light, and you know how like when a cat lays down and like a spot of sunlight in the and just stretches out. That's what she's gonna do.
There seems specifically a focus of light, just a few feet in front of a bronze statue.
That statue must be a quest giver.
I know, I was just about to say that.
The statue is of a very lovely elven woman. She seems to wear the armor that would be associated with the wood elves of the forest. You would assume she's, has some essence of a tracker or a hunter or something of that sort. Simple, practical garb, which you wouldn't usually see on a statue of such exquisiteness.
Is it like a god, or is it just? Ow.
Not one that you recognize. You don't recognize it to be a god.
Cool.
Is Tandem still here?
Yeah, he's down there with you. Sort of that nervous watching everyone.
Tandem, do you know who this statue is?
Yes, of course. It's it's an old friend. It's an old friend. Is no longer here.
Does this old friend have a name?
Yeah, she did. Did. He's sort of kind of clamming up, like he does not want to share any familiarity with that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think I'll check on your friends out on deck. I'll be back. He looks over to Tholdrum. Respectful, please, and makes his way up the stairs.
As he leaves and he's like out of earshot, he kind of turns to Fada and Helena and like with one eye closed, like peering out of his cloak, and he's just like, I don't know why he's so worried about us. Like, we're not going to burn the ship down or anything.
Well, to be fair, we did just comes over to whisper, just like looking at she's like Helena starts doing the same sort of shifty look. She's like, we did just kill one of his friends, just like a few moments ago.
Yes, but I think we are more than justified for those actions.
Maybe he's just embarrassed.
What? That his old fling turned into a ship? Sure.
Wow, you connected the dots rather quickly there.
Well, that's educated guess.
All right.
Hey, if I'm wrong, I'll buy drinks or something. I'm going to go take a nap.
I'll take that bet.
Cool. And Fada's just like laying on her back, arm thrown over her face, just as much of her in the light as she can, asleep.
I just had this whole vision of a anime scene in my head of them talking. It's just-
Yeah, I've been having this I have this commission I want to do of Fada right now, just laying on the ground.
Ooh, like
in
right next to
forest.
the pond, and like the fish are sort of like spitting water and stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can totally see it.
Make this happen. Do we have that fan base yet? Make
Yeah,
art.
right. Make art.
Ursula, Tandem approaches where you're stationed on the deck. Kind of watches the ocean slowly passing as the ship continues its destination. Kind of stands casually near you and does a glance. So, how was it? He makes a little motion of where his seed was in his hand.
I think that's the best I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Strike that second best. Best was my first full house.
Yeah. That kind of actually, as much as he sort of relates to the first time the seed, he relates even more when you mention that. That's when you see that sort of little curled smile on his face. Yeah. So on the level, he leans against the deck. You planning to give it up? The seed.
To see. I don't know if I have too much of a venue to take it, but also I don't know. It seems like it's too much all at once.
Well, control comes with time. I mean, control and honestly a lot more power. That first time, it's chaotic. It's strange. You don't know how to use it or what you're doing. It's just a bit reckless. But keeping it, he glances towards your hands. Do you have it in you?
No, I gave it back to Tholdrum. He's a little possessive of them right now. To be fair, I probably wouldn't trust me with it. But no, I didn't mean the lack of control. I mean, it's too much all at once. It's like opening the doors as they're hitting the crescendo and then leaving. It's missing the build-up.
Well, you learn to create that build-up. You learn to wield it. It's not always going to be just a cacophony of sound. You just picked up the instrument. It's going to take some time before you know what you're doing with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Just some food for thought. Me and my friends, we may not have made all the best decisions with the power that we had. But it's not to say you couldn't. It's not to say you couldn't do amazing things and, I don't know, fix this world a bit.
I'm less of a mender, more about presentation.
Well, and definitely gives that potential too. Just consider what's best. Can't say I ever did, but you never know. Yeah, wanders over to the kiwi crate.
The kiwi crate.
He just waves, like onion in mouth, waving.
Only one onion?
At the moment, it may be the last onion in the crate.
Glances at your fine work there. Wow. That's glad I didn't rely on those.
Hi.
Hi. So he props himself up towards that dare sitting on the edge of the crate. So tell me, you've had quite the adventure thus far, haven't you? As I recall, you were just a a local out of the water when we met.
It's been very interesting.
There's a lot more than just like, the ocean and pirate town. Who knew?
Yeah, yeah. There is quite a lot more there. Dragons apparently. He reaches out his hand and kind of pokes at the scale, and it kind of pulls his hand away from the cold and rubs it on his coat.
I mean, the dragon they're just trying to protect her babies, and that cook killed her love. That's not very nice.
Yeah, no. Goretooth was a complicated fellow. He had what he thought was the most important thing. And he didn't let anyone get in his way. That's one of the reasons why we didn't get along all that great all the time.
He seemed very headstrong in his quest of finding the perfect flavor. But I think maybe he failed to consider that in taking the power and becoming a god, maybe finding that flavor was his sacrifice.
He just looks absolutely amazed. Those are some of the wisest words I've heard in oh my goodness, in a long time. Wisdom beyond your years. Yeah. Turns around and leaves you to your continuing smorgasbord of onions.
Should I save some of these?
He shakes his head. You go wild. You enjoy. He
Okay,
motions,
that gets you some points.
chuckles. Look, anything in these crates up here, if there's any food, you're welcome to it. I don't I don't need much, so help yourself.
Thank you.
He smiles and nods and makes his way back downstairs and kind of steps down, kind of does a catches his breath and meets the rest of the crew down there.
Tholdrum kind of pulls his cloak hood down and looks over at him as he's still crouched on the, or not crouched, but sitting on the stump. He's like, "Sir, I do have to say, this whole time you've seemed quite wound up and stressed. What has you in such a tizzy?"
I didn't think I was coming off wound up and stressed. I thought I
Oh,
was,
you could cut the tension with a butter knife.
I thought I was the coolest of customers.
Oh, you usually are, from our experience at least, but I don't know. You seem to be very anxious about something.
He does a glance. He's I'm not really used to having company in here.
So why offer to fly us in your ship in the first place?
On deck normally is fine. There's people want to experience a little bit of a party and a revel and a couple of songs, and they get to travel. Down here is different. Down here, the makeup's off, generally speaking.
And Tholdrum kind of plants his staff and, gets up back on his feet. So then if you'll allow me another possibly personal question. Is this the ship that you and your compatriots all flew on when you took your adventures?
Yeah, Jake said, "No, no. I mean, me and Arch had, had a couple good, rows on the ship, but by the time I could afford this beauty, it was we'd pretty much went our separate ways."
I see. All right. Well, do you know how much longer it'll be till we reach our destination?
Well, unfortunately, once you come into a plane of existence, you can't just kind of jump right back out of. So we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Going by airship. He sort of smiles at the concept. No.
So meaning we
I
can't
wouldn't
jump.
imagine.
Meaning we can't jump. We can't teleport the usual way.
No, it's going to take a little while. So we're just going to do this almost old-fashioned then. Shouldn't be more than a day. So relax, get comfortable. It'll be a few. I would love to hear the stories, though.
Well, we certainly could tell you more about this ice dragon that we came across.
His brow arches as he sort of, rests his hands, under his chin.
Do you want the long version or the short version?
The dramatic one.
Thuldrum kind of looks over at Theta, who's still sleeping, and looks over at Helena, who I don't know, what is Helena doing?
Well, it's the thing. She kind of would have she was just trying to sleep, but she would have jerked up for a second and be like, "Wait, did you say we're leaving this plane, as in this plane of existence? Like just
No.
leave?"
No. We're just island hopping today.
Oh, okay. And just goes back to sleep.
But if you're lucky, maybe next time. Like almost a threatening.
Yeah, like, she just totally missed that though. She just straight back down.
And where was I? Let's see. Yes. So, and he kind of dramatically tells the story of their journey to the ice cave and how Kiwi thought it to lick the dragon's eggs, and how we stopped her and then fell into a cavern, and he just tells the whole thing, but in a dramatic sense as much as he could, maybe adding a little bit of wind magic for effect. So
Tandem looks absolutely thrilled. He is just almost like a childlike kind of face.
And so yeah, that's when the dragon swooped in and sort of helped us defeat Goretooth, if you'd believe it.
I believe every word of it. I gotta say, it is absolutely nice having someone else tell the story.
Yes,
never-
I imagine.
stories is-
I
you would
imagine
think
being a
it-
collector of stories, you don't get that very often.
No, it's just generally request for me, but to be able to sit and just listen to a story. At this point, he's sort of propped up on the other side of your stump, just kind of laying on the ground.
Well, if I'm to be the new headmaster of the wizarding school, then I do have to get good at telling stories anyway, don't I?
His head tilts back to look up at you. Headmaster, you say?
Yes, I'm sure Archie will tell you all about it when you meet him, but he has appointed me the new headmaster with the condition that I go through 12 years of wizarding school. So there's that.
Oh, 12 years is nothing.
I mean, I'm a dwarf, so I live longer than usual, but still, it feels like a lot, but I suppose I know what I signed up for.
Lots and lots of studying and reading and test, I would imagine.
Yes, it's that interim principal that I can't stand. He's quite pestering.
Yeah. He looks confused. He doesn't know.
I'm sure you'll meet him when you go there.
No. I will, I'll definitely let him know you say hello.
Oh no.
Just be warned, he will very forcibly try to get you to sign up to classes.
Kind of says nothing, but he's leaning back in his seat. Like he's kind of mulling over the idea of signing up for a school. Mm.
I mean, hey, if you'd want to be classmates.
That could be fun. Yes. I'm sure all sorts of hijinks happen at schools. Yes, yes. He kind of sits up, and you can just, see this look in his eyes of, the sudden excitement. Oh.
You don't seem like the type of character to want to be planted in one place for too long, though, so I can't imagine you'd stick around for very long.
Oh no, most certainly not. I'll be kicked out for too long. But the experience till that point, I think, is just oh yeah, that could be definitely a lot of fun. I'll let him know it was your idea when I get there. You say, and with that, we are gonna go to break.
My first decree is Principal Tandem as our new student.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
All right, we will be back in a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. And welcome back. I believe we have an announcement or a thank you to give out before we start this back up.
Yeah, our usual shout out to Adventure Music for letting us use their library. I know they have they have a second album coming out soon. I don't quite remember when it comes out, but I know it's soon. You can check out that date. They'll probably have it on their Twitter at Adventure Music 2, the number 2. And you can support them on Patreon, Adventure Music JR. Because they're really cool. They let us use their music for the intermission, and we can use it all throughout the channel, and it's a lot of really cool stuff.
It really is. Awesome. Any other announcements, or are we on the road?
No.
I mean, small if it's relevant. I feel like it's relevant.
Relevant.
If anybody here likes reading at all, in my community and on my channel, we are doing a book club, a slow book club, of course, because I'm a slow reader. But we are reading, and Bree's a part of it too. That we are reading World War Z right now. And so as we finish that book, I will be talking more about that, and we'll actually be discussing it. And hopefully, if you ever want to be on my show, we can talk about it in
Hit me
person.
up.
I would be thrilled to reread that book.
I
Talk with you cats.
need to catch
Yeah.
up. I'm about 2 chapters in. I'm so proud of myself.
So you're not far behind me, because I'm about at the 100-page point. So
I feel better. I need to. I was gonna sit down and read it yesterday, and then my cat sat on top of me before I grabbed the book. And what are you gonna do?
Got to give Gato attention.
has ended many a plans.
Yep. So no worries there. But yeah, more to come. More information on that later.
Awesome.
It's a good book.
It is.
Great book.
So far, yeah.
All right. We left Tandem now has dreams of joining the a mage college. Whether it's anywhere near what he's thinking it would be is a different story. But he has expectations in his head right now, so he seems a little more comfortable that there's a potential plan ahead of him. And kind of eventually sits up off the stump and dusts himself off and glances over to a crashed out Fada. Kind of smirks and nods and glances over to the presumably sleeping Helena. Why do I always want to say Helena? And sort of carefully steps towards her.
Yes,
So,
yes, I will say this about my companions. If it weren't for them, we'd surely be dead.
he gives a nod. And says, It's you can't go very far in this world without someone watching your back. I mean, you witnessed all the trouble I was in when we met. I've been going alone for so long. Man can make a lot of stupid decisions left to his own whims.
Yep. And Thildrum kind of eyes Helena and eyes him and notices he's getting a little close to her, and he's just like, yes, and about that one, if you want your soul still intact, I would recommend not getting too close to her while she's sleeping. I've seen what the seed did to her, and I am still trying to get those thoughts out of my head.
His eyes widen. He sort of, crouches down near Helena. What happened?
I eat
Gods.
babies too, you know.
Oh my god.
Just saying.
I, for one, have never seen her eat a
gives a-
baby, so
he
I
gives
can't
a-
confirm that.
He gives a shrug. No judgments here. You know, I never. What did you turn into? What happened?
The best description I could give is I turned into my worst nightmare.
And mine, I would say.
He looks very perplexed by the statement. I don't understand. It's
Do you have a vision in your head of what death must look like personified?
you know I've been in a lot of strange places. I think I can kind of grasp as he's saying it. He's talking towards Tholdrum, but he's still now kind of side-eyed looking towards Elena, maybe like one slight step away.
Yes, well, imagine that, but then don't imagine it because you possibly couldn't imagine what it actually looks like.
Sort of ponders over it. Well, given this revelation, I imagine you'll do just fine where we're going.
Tholdrum kind of presses even further. Ah, yes, and where is that again?
Oh, not too far now. Not too far. Just island hopping to the west.
You keep
Does our
saying that,
destination
but
have a name? It must. Is it on a map?
Oh, of course it is. Oh my goodness, you have just no patience, all of you.
I don't like drama. I've had a lot of drama, especially today.
Helena, do you still have the map on you?
But it's only of the Green Tongue. It's not I don't have a world map.
Ah, but it's a magic map. It may have changed.
I actually forgot that. Crazy day. Turning into the avatar of death and all that. A lot of things kind of.
Tandem gives like a knowing nod as you say it.
Yeah, she just. I actually totally forgot it was a magic map. So I'll just get the map out and have a look at it to see if it has changed.
Tholdrum kind of takes the sack of what's it called? Beans out, the magic beans, and scatters them onto the map.
The map itself seems to be fairly blank right now. I'm going to say on a closer inspection, you can almost see actually like a slight ripple of waves. So it seems to be definitely accurate to where you are. As you sprinkle the chia seeds.
Oh, that's what they are.
There is a pile that continuously slides west, which seemingly the direction that you're going. And there's the other pile that seems to be sliding just north and starting to arc, almost like it was going back towards the Green Tongue.
Great. So we're in the middle of the ocean, and it seems like we are going in the right direction. I suppose we are being a little impatient.
Thank you, he says as he's leaning over watching the map.
Well, you can't blame us for not trusting you 100%.
You did turn your last few people that you knew into stone. Or crystal, should I say.
They were after me through no fault of my own. Let us not forget that.
Faded into sleep goes.
Lies. I need to make that a thing. Idea for later. Do you have a question? You seem to be hovering around me.
Oh, just, we're traveling. That's generally what you do. Yeah, you converse, you talk, you make friends.
He wants to hear more stories. Tholdrum just says matter of factly, like,
Oh, I guess I can tell. I can tell a certain story. I guess, but Helena sort of look over at Sildrum and over at Fada, just sort of kind of eyeing just to see if they actually are, like, at least Fada's asleep. But it might, and then she starts actually speaking in Elvish just to make sure this goes across. My Elvish may be a little rusty. I do apologize, but this story is a little personal, and I'm still nervous about telling people. But seeing as you claim to be all powerful and are more than likely going to avoid certain scenarios, I would assume the people involved will not come find you. But let me tell you the tale of Rulta the Undying.
To reiterate, Tholdrum does not know Elvish, so he does not understand this language.
I really hope that was the case.
Okay,
Fada
yeah.
does.
I was just saying.
Yeah.
Fada does
he
know
knows.
Elvish, but she's asleep, and I promise
Yeah,
you, she is
asleep.
actually asleep. I'm not gonna have her wake up and hear your story.
Because even though I know a multitude of languages, they are human, dwarven, sylvan, and celestial. So neither of which are elven.
So I guess Helena's story would be one of, I guess, deep tragedy, as a man known as Rulta is so desperate for unlimited power and immortality and everything in between that he not only turned himself into a lich, but he then used the life essence of his descendants as fuel to sort of keep his immortality. She describes how he would leap from person to person, sort of taking them over and using their body as like his new body, and has slowly just been gaining power just ever so slowly in the hopes of one day ruling the world or destroying it. She seems to be unsure on that front, to be honest.
His gaze does not leave you the entire time we're talking.
And surprise, current last of the bloodline. Hello.
You're positive of his name, right?
I would certainly hope so. It was the last thing, one of the last few memories I have of my father is him screaming that name as he died.
Odd comfort. He tries to say as inoffensively as possible. Oh. Well, this is definitely explains why you're here on this ship, I think.
What do you mean?
I'm out of my elements here, but I think I know why our mutual friend would want to see you.
Tholdrum is kind of noticing that the conversation is getting a little tense, and kind of moves a little closer out of concern.
Our mutual friend is. He isn't.
He holds up his hand. No. This isn't a trap. This isn't a trap. I promise. Cross. No. But I would wager they're connected.
Helena, are you okay? What's going on? Things seem a little, well, lack of a better word, awkward.
Literally just starts muttering in Necrid. So it's just a lot of guttural, like, zombie noises for a few minutes. So she's sort of tapping like, her forehead, like, yes, apparently everything is hunky dory. Yes, hunky dory.
All right. He kind of eyes Tandem and then looks back at her. You tell us if everything wasn't hunky dory, as you put it.
Oh, of course. Yes, it's just I've realized I have suddenly gotten even more tired than I was already. So a lot of spell casting, a lot of
Well, the seed will
traumatic
do that.
experiences.
The
Yes,
seed will do that.
Going to go sleep now, and
Would you like some food? I do have some left over in my bag.
no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just sleep. Would
All right.
sleep would be good.
Very well.
Give me a moment to sleep.
All right. Well, if you're all right, Tandem, Helena, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go on deck and check on Kiwi and Ursula, see how they are.
Yes, of course. He starts to make some distance between him and Helena, just a little like he's trying to calculate things in his head and looks very uncomfortable.
Plague Doctor mask goes on, and then just staring at the wall, trying to like figure out, like burn a hole through it, trying to figure this out.
We're gonna say, Tholdrum, you make your way back on deck.
The first sight that he sees is a tipped over crate of what used to be onions, but is now just like crumbs, I imagine. And Kiwi's just sort of sitting there licking her fingers.
It's not even, it's probably just like laying on the
Okay.
deck, feet in the crate, just.
There you go. Yeah. He kind of comes over to the crate and taps it with his staff. Kiwi, are you full?
I'm pretty okay.
You
I
just
mean, could
I mean,
always have a snack.
my lords, are you just a bottomless pit of food?
Too much.
Well, I mean, if we didn't know this already, now we do, and we really should be more prepared with food for you.
I'll take what I can get.
What's Ursula doing right now?
Still just kind of like leaning on whatever semblance of like a railing or something there is, and looking at the ocean, processing her experience with the seed.
Ursula, what has you so pensive, I suppose?
I miss the ocean. I mean, I haven't been out of it for long, but it feels so weird to be so far away from it now.
Hmm. Yes, I do imagine that your home being the ocean must be very much similar of how I feel not being on the ground.
It's odd.
It
I don't
is.
like it.
Did you I mean, are there very many other sentient beings in the ocean besides your kind?
Are there? I don't know.
Well,
Oh, I'm sure there's probably a lot more.
I feel like
Sirens tend to give each other space for our various hobbies and collections. We only really get together for certain events.
Are you a nomad type of people then?
Yes and no. We definitely move around, but we move around to certain places. It's not that sort of aimless wandering.
I see. And Tholdrum just kind of like leans against the banister and just like looks towards the rest of the ship. He's looking away from the sky and the ocean, and I've been meaning to ask you, kind of with a lowered voice, your experience with the seed. How was it exactly?
It was amazing. Such a rush. Mind you, I think a good deal of that might have been the adrenaline of having to fight a similarly souped up orc.
This is true. He was coming rather quickly at us with a massive blade, and I think that Tholdrum kind of like rolls his eyes a little bit because he hates apologizing. I think I do take some credit in antagonizing him into a fight, but I suppose it couldn't be avoided.
Oh no, I mean, he wasn't going to give that up.
Clearly. Do you, I know this might be strange to ask, but do you regret coming along with us, knowing all that you know now?
No, not at all. This is probably a far better trip to the surface than I would have spent just singing for change for those fake pirates.
Yes. I do suppose this is a higher purpose than just mere coin could provide.
Is that an altitude pun, Thorum?
Well, if it were, I was not intentional of it, but please add it to your book of puns, as it were, Ursula.
No, I'll take the high ground and let it go.
He just kind of like just does this.
I'm gonna slip Tholdrum 5 gold and just go. Before I forget, I made a bet with myself that Kiwi was gonna eat the crate after the onions. So.
This is true. Thank you. Kind of pockets it.
By the way, season 2, there are going to be so many more pirates.
Maybe Fada will meet one.
love pirates.
She'll
So
finally
sick
know
of
what a
pirates.
pirate is.
So you're saying the
Kiwis.
buck won't stop at Buccaneer?
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, ditto.
Kiwi's gonna pull her legs like out of the crate, and she's just kind of looking at them, and she can't hear them, so she just rolls herself across the deck over to them, still laying on it. And it's just like,
What you doing?
I kind of look at her and then I look back at Ursula. He kind of takes one of the gold pieces that she just gave him out of his pocket. Oh yeah, and I remember I made a silent bet to myself that she would have been deep into the second crate by now, and kind of flips the coin in her direction.
Which her, Kiwi or Ursula?
Oh, you, Ursula.
I'll catch it and be like, fair.
Yeah.
We're talking about just the road so far, Kiwi. By the way, nice job with the ice dragon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Quite quick thinking on your part.
Mm, and it was just you don't eat babies. And also, like, they killed her love, and that seems like a really big deal, and it's really mean.
I mean, apparently Helena eats babies, but that's a different story.
Well-
I hope this is not canon now.
I mean, I eat caviar all the time, though. That's frog
Oh my
babies.
god.
I'm a scholar, so I'm not going to measure the morality of eating fish babies versus dragon babies, and just take note of this conversation.
Ocean law is different.
Hey, as long as you're the one to say it, like.
I'll die on that hill.
Kiwi like kind of nods.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, a lot of the people I know eat babies, but they're not very nice people.
Kiwi, I do want to ask you the same thing I asked Ursula. Do you, knowing what you know now, with everything we're going through, do you regret coming along with us at all?
No, why would I do that? I mean, I was supposed to take you guys to, like, a completely different place. That didn't happen. But what would you do without me?
Very true.
You would have been eaten by a dragon.
But I do worry about the fact that you might not have a job when you get back.
I will just. I think if I explain, maybe they'll understand.
I would hope so. Because I feel like there is a battle going on we were supposed to be a part of. And yet we're here.
We never did sign anything.
True.
I mean, we didn't really make it all the way over there to even know what was going on. They were just like, hey, bring people. And I was like, sure.
Yes, it was more like a draft for an unknown war, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole effort was pretty disorganized. I think we might have even dodged a bullet.
Like Tholdrum kind of looks at you. What is a bullet?
Oh, sorry. Ocean expression, like a bullet fish. They accelerate very quickly and ram into their target.
Oh, He kind of pulls out a piece of parchment, scribbles it down. Good to know. I'll look into them when
I'll
I
make
get
a
back.
Doodle. It looks like Bullet Bill, but with a mermaid tail.
I love
Does,
that.
wait, does it still have the fists?
Yeah. It's like those mantis shrimp. It's got like those little like
Yeah.
Oh, the
little hams.
Would you
So-
say? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so, I'm from the ocean too, but I've never seen anyone like you, Ursula. Not around where I am.
We tend to stick to closer to the surface. We deal with pirates a lot. That's where we get our shiny stuff from.
We were just sort of like on the beach area. It wasn't as sandy as the one near the pirate town. It was a little bit more like rocks and pebbles.
Oh yeah, no, we don't stay too close to the land. We stay in the open water because sometimes the pirates want to leave the party and we don't want them to leave the party.
I
Well,
have
the
heard.
pirates in the pirate town were pretty cool, so I could understand why you would want them at parties.
Yeah, exactly.
In my travels across the ocean, initially going to the island, I did hear of some tales of sirens in the water leading boatmen and fishermen and pirates alike to a rocky grave. Is that what you do, or is that like an over exaggeration?
It's an over exaggeration. it doesn't happen nearly as often as they say it does.
It's a party. Clearly, it's a rocky rave.
I mean, it
Rave to
sounds
the
like.
grave, as my Aunt Stella used to call it.
I mean, it sounds to me like some pirates can't hold their drink. It's no fault of your own.
Just justifying that.
Hey, I'm sorry. If they get
I don't need to
drunk,
justify it. I do what I want.
I'm talking about you. You have every reason to. I'm gonna say by this point, you're well into the twilight.
Tholdrum's just... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. It's fine.
Okay. Tholdrum's gonna just switch his position and prop himself up on the banister and, like, actually at the bow of the boat, the front of the boat, and like overlook, like the setting sun.
I'm gonna say by this point, while you are watching the sun, in the far distance, there's almost a black hue on the horizon, like a faraway gouts of dark smoke.
Do I sense anything?
You are not at all disturbed by it. There's for whatever reason, it just seems pretty normal for you.
Okay. Is it like a fog or?
I mean, it sort of dissipates into, but I mean, you can tell that it's, smoke rising from a center point.
Oh, okay. Got you. All right.
Kiwi will just be like, okay, well, good night, and like instantly fall asleep where she's laying.
I think Tholdrum will try and get some sleep as well. He'll just sort of lean himself against the bow and pull his hood over his eyes and just like fall asleep.
Okay. Everyone going down for the night? All right. Those on deck, you are greeted with the sunrise. I know you were concerned for a second there.
Oh, what's about to happen? Lightning and thunder. No, I'm kidding.
You are greeted with the sunrise. It's a little jarring of a wake up, just in the sense of when those eyes do open, it is nothing but vast endless sky above you. And as you're making your way back to cognizant, there is soft music playing near your heads. Tandem is just sort of tooling away at his lute as he's, just kind of giving a gentle wake up to those around him.
Can you make your music tasteable?
Well, I used to be able to. I don't know so much now, but I'll certainly try.
Be interested.
Why don't you hop down and get your friends from below deck? They're probably going to want to see this.
Sure.
Kiwi will walk
Okay.
downstairs and see that there's a forest and be like,
Hi. really glad I fell asleep up there last night. Hey! We're being summoned!
What?
Hmm.
Mm,
Why?
Exciting things are happening! Come on!
Hmm. Is the moon up?
no, I think the sun's up.
No! And
Well,
if you
then I
don't
should
come
still
up,
be in bed.
I'm gonna lick you in the face.
Ah, okay. I'm up.
Very younger sibling esque.
Tholdrum's gonna just like do a big kind of wide stretch and a yawn as he like tousles his hair and his braids and walks down the steps to the main dock where Tandem is.
As you join him, you get a fair view of where you are. You have returned to land. Is the first thing you'll notice. The grasslands and river is passing underneath you. As you look to the north, you see definitely where that smoke was coming from last night. There seems to be just a rocky crags of mountain with these plumes of this dark smoke just billowing out of it. Thankfully, that is nowhere near where you are right now. That seems way into the distance. And that is something you are grateful for at the time. Tandem's arms are crossed as he's, looking at everyone come through. Come on, you're almost there. It's gonna be fun, I promise.
Why do I feel like your definition of fun and my definition of fun are differing?
I don't know about that. I mean, we're gonna be school roommates soon. I assume we're gonna have some semblance of fun.
We're gonna be bunk buddies.
Exactly.
Yes, and don't think I'm going to go easy on you just because you're a student. I will not stand for any of your hijinks.
Well, you'll be a student for a while too, so you'll have to stand for some hijinks.
Can
Yes,
I
maybe
roll
you're
too?
right.
Will some of my credits from the Amaranthine Conservatory transfer over?
I'm sure the headmaster could do something.
I mean, since we technically already passed, we went through the whole test and we got through it. We passed. Why
I mean,
enroll when you've already?
Were we
succeeded?
ever in any real danger with that test anyway? I'm still kind of mad about that.
If he's going through, you can't say that out loud. Come on.
The test is super dangerous, Tandem.
Well, that's the first thing that I'm going to change when I'm headmaster, is I'm going to make the test actually dangerous.
What are we talking about?
It's
Oh, good morning, Theta.
clearly not the morning person.
Not this morning.
Well, I'm slightly more chipper, so
I usually-
Aldrin kind of reaches into his bag and offers Theta an apple.
Thank you. Usually I get to prepare my spells before I talk to people. I don't know.
Oh, don't worry. You're well prepared for where you're going.
No,
Cracks his fingers and
no, I'm really not. But okay.
looks into the horizon. Come on, you're about to go to the. You're about to go there.
So we've arrived and you're still not going to tell us where we're going.
you're such a tease. Just call it something.
Dramatics are everything. Fine. He growls in your direction. Juts his arm out towards the land. Welcome to the Crooked Man Isle.
Sounds ominous.
It's there are some very lovely parts of it. And we're almost at your destination, so take it all in because you're going to be wowed.
I'm glad it's the
Crux
Crooked
is-
Man Isle and not the Crooked Man Strait, because that would be an oxymoron.
Obligatory gay joke.
Yep.
A
A
Elena just starts walking away. Just a second.
Fado look over the side of the ship. She didn't really
So,
do that the day before.
At
Where
this
is
point,
it?
you're now passing over several small, villages at a time, or little settlements. You're seeing signs of life, which is probably a comfort at this point.
civilization.
Kiwi
Where
is
exactly
waving at
are-
everything.
Where exactly are we going to be landing?
Almost there. Almost there. He's looking excited.
Is there? It just.
At last, the ship kind of lulls and shifts and starts going lower and lower.
Just tell me if you think whether or not we're gonna get into combat. I need to know from my spells.
Oh, you'll be fine. He kind of waves you off.
Can I insight check that?
Yes, you can.
Wait,
I forgot that's a thing. I should have been doing that. I totally forgot that was a thing.
I am surprised you guys were not insight checking in the
I,
entire
like-
time.
I
Just-
forgot that was a
I've been sitting here
Like,
going, I'm not a part of
literally-
these conversations. I'm not a part of these conversations. Hang on, roll 20
Literally-
log me out. Give me a
Oh no!
Oh no.
I think my
second. No,
luck
you know
was
what?
pretty low.
I'll do it on here. I'm just gonna do it. It's just, we're just gonna do it. Really?
You said it was a lie.
Oh god, I hope that didn't show up on the screen.
Where's insight even?
It's perception.
Oh. That makes sense.
Oh, those are my spells. That's not helpful. Perceive. What'd I roll?
20.
20.
Nah, you're gonna be fine.
Okay.
You you don't notice any malice in his voice. It doesn't sound like he's hiding anything dangerous, at least.
Alright. Well, there's at
You see
least
him.
one spell I can take out.
He's leaning over one of the banisters, kind of, bouncing in his step, like waiting for his timing. And welcome, he gives this nice dramatic pull, to the greatest show of all the Ballin Islands. And you follow his hands just below the ship. You see a series of brightly colored tents
Oh my god.
and caravans and wagons set up. There's that instant smell of, food and wildlife at the same time.
Have you
It's an interesting miasma that goes together.
have you
Maybe
flown
roll.
us? Have you flown us to a circus?
Not just any circus. The weirdest one you're bound to see, I'm sure. And he's saying that just casually as he's throwing the rope down for you.
Oh, go.
Kiwi
Yeah.
basically leaps off of the boat.
I was about to say Helena would almost follow suit if she wasn't for the fact that she was a little bit smarter than that.
I mean, how deep is the water nearby? Because I might just dive into the water.
So crazy.
You can try.
Tholdrum kind of, as he throws his leg over the boat and starts climbing, he just mutters like, "This is utterly ridiculous."
If I get a sense that the water is deep enough, I'll dive.
You can try.
Oh god.
Let me perceive the water first.
The good news is I have all my spells back.
It looks perfectly safe.
Okay. I will swan dive off.
Give me a dex
For the
or
audience.
acrobatics.
It was a 12.
Acrobatics.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Could I perform instead of acrobat?
I'm going to say no on this one.
Better my dex or my.
That was clever.
Oh, we got a nat 20. So
Nat 20.
28.
Just like a silver pin into the waters. Go in without any sort of loud splash or almost without any sort of ripple.
It's just that satisfying. Ploop.
Fada holds up a card that says 10. No, Fada's gonna climb down after Thuldrum. She's still not awake. She's sort of awake, but she's the kind of awake where you're like hazy and you're not really focused on what's in front of you because she's still going through her spells.
Tandem is sort of ushering all of you towards the exit, towards the rope. Yes, well, it has certainly been seeing you again. I'll not forget the memories. On your way.
You're not gonna come with us?
Oh, I would love to.
Well, come on.
On your way.
Yes. Waiting for that bat, but.
So you're just going to leave. You're not going to join us.
I've already seen the show. I've seen everything there is to see here, and I'm surely needed elsewhere.
But what about your friend that you needed to do a favor for? You didn't want to say hi.
No, just let him know, let him know how you got here, and that the favor's been granted.
How are we gonna get back?
Very good question. Off you go.
Helena just.
You're clever,
Yes,
ingenuitive
wait.
people. Look how far you've gone on your wits and your guts and your bravado. I believe you can do anything, like getting off my boat.
We're off your boat.
Did everyone off?
Helena just come on. Let's go see the murder circus. Let's go see
Already
the murder
headed
circus.
to the next food.
Oh god.
Murder circus.
Why do you just assume it's a murder circus?
Why
Because
don't you?
if we're going to see someone like this, I imagine murder circus.
I mean, all right. Well, I'm
Will
more
it
of
be
a.
a murder circus? We are going to find out next time.
Oh my god.
Next time on Dragon Ball
Next time.
Amazing.
Oh my God, this murder circus is.
Thank you.
We're going to end there for the night. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And thank you, Enders, for joining me in a nice bottlenecked, interesting game tonight.
Thank you for running, Bram.
Thank
the
you,
bottom
Bran.
half.
It was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for next time. When the
Murder circus.
not murder circus.
Murder
happens.
That's
circus.
gonna be like our noir episode. Murder at the murder circus.
nothing but Hellraiser style murder porn everywhere.
Nope, I'm gonna be quiet.
We
Nope.
will find out next time.
See you next time.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night, Wild Ones.
Have a good night.
Bye.